You're listening to the #1 Oilers podcast, Handkerchief Dynasty. 2 minutes for interference.
Happy Hockey Day in Canada to you.
Are you saying that to me?
Yes. Happy Hockey Canada Day to you, secret professor.
Is it Hockey Canada Day or Hockey Day in Canada Day?
What did I say?
Is there some kind of corporate sponsorship involved? Are we allowed to celebrate hockey without mentioning
I'm pretty sure it's entity? I'm pretty sure it's just Happy Hockey Day in Canada. Wait a minute. That means it's like it's corporate, if that's what it is. Because that's like, it's capitalizing on Hockey Night in Canada. So this is Happy Hockey Day in Canada. So it's not an official holiday. You're right. It's corporate.
Isn't that a thing? Yeah, the company like sponsors something. They do something for some junior hockey team or something.
I don't know.
Hockeyville, they term it.
Oh, that's Craft Hockey.
Ever since what's his name, the guy from TSN got let go, and he was like talking all that trash on Twitter about like, oh, let's talk. Oh, but wait, maybe can I say it without mentioning the company that just fired me? Oh, I guess I don't care about mental health otherwise. It's like this. Did you see that? It was awesome. What is it, Jay and Dan? It was Dan.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that was it's crazy what happened. I mean, it's crazy what happened in sports media this week. That's nuts. Entire stations just got completely axed.
Yeah, they shut down TSN 1040, right?
It's amazing. Station. Yeah, that's right. They shut down. What's that? Has there been any? You heard about that, eh?
Yeah.
Of course. Did you ever Did you ever listen to that station at all? I know you're not.
No. Yeah. No, so I mean, I've only listened to Oilers, so obviously not. I mean, I know. Actually, I should talk to my friends about it because I know a couple of them listen to it. Actually, I wonder what their reaction is going to be.
You really should.
Do they just like not have like a sports station to listen to now?
Yes, that's what. It's so funny to me. I mean, this is an entirely different thing, but you've lived in Vancouver since you were like 19 years old.
No. It's like I was
since you were 20, 21.
Yeah, early 20s. Yeah,
I'd say 20 or 21. You were a pretty young guy, and like you have absolutely no interest in the Vancouver Canucks, and you're one of the most passionate Oilers fans I know. Yeah, but you weren't at all before you moved to Vancouver. Like growing up,
It's true.
I mean, you didn't give a shit about the Oilers at all growing up, like in high school and stuff. Not a chance.
No, I was too busy. I was too busy adjusting my scarf.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, but yeah, you should talk to some of the people you know because you live in Vancouver. So it's the equivalent of, 1260 here, right? Obviously. So Jason Gregor, that whole, imagine if that was just suddenly gone from the Oilers landscape. It'd be massive.
Yeah.
And I think in Vancouver, I think the station was doing pretty well from what I've heard. So yeah, if you have any,
it seems like Bell, I think Bell just like had some other issues, and it was one of those things where like a company had their fingers in so many pies, and some of those pies turned cold and rancid, and they were like, and then they had this hot delicious pie on one side, but they're like, you know what, we got to sell this pie because it's all we got, or some shit. That's kind of how. I don't really know what Bell. I mean, obviously, they do cell phones as well, so.
Bells.
But I kind of doubt they're taking a bath on cell phones. Maybe they are. Who knows? It seems
maybe
like
nobody.
If you have a cell phone fucking company in Canada, it's like a license to print money because they have everyone over a barrel.
Maybe no one's buying bells anymore.
Oh, that could be it too.
When was the last time you bought a bell?
Well, I have to wear a bell on my shoes actually now.
Yeah. But when was the last time you bought a bell, though? Like, I know you have to wear bells on your shoes.
I think it would have been between 95, 96.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've never bought a bell in my life. Never had to.
Yeah.
So that could have caught up with them. That
is an issue when you think about it, because how many bells do you really see? You're really making a point now that I think about it.
I know, but let's get to the
So hold on. So Handkerchief Dynasty is the name of this podcast. I am, as always, your secret professor, joined by my good friend and soulmate, the High Priest of Oilers Magic. Non-sexily visual edition today. But that's okay. I'm gonna try and find some like public domain movie just to like have running like over top of this on YouTube.
Interesting.
Let's try and make it like a little bit.
I get it.
It's always interesting when you have like a one random thing playing with the audio. Like I remember one time I used to just like host poker. Back when I used to host poker, it's like I'd throw on like my music of choice and then also like a DVD on silent, just to have something going on in the background. Fun. But it's
great point.
There's a lot to talk about. First off, actually, let me just ask you: Did you answer the special edition Handkerchief Dynasty Twitter survey? Follow us on Twitter at HandkerchiefDY1.
Is that which player?
High Priest Oil. So which who are you most grateful for at this moment? Yessie?
Yes.
Yevon, Tyson, or Mike? To be honest, I kind of feel bad about Jujhar not being on this list right now. But he would have been there. Well, if they allowed 5 entries on Twitter surveys, he would have been there with a bullet. So you voted Yessie, yeah. So far we got
no, I didn't vote Yessie. Whoa.
Yessie, Evan, Tyson, Mike.
Yeah, you know who I voted for.
Mike?
Of course.
Yeah. Mike came in with out of 59 votes, 20% voted for Mike.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
27 for Evan.
People hate
a lot of
Mike
future
Smith.
there. Well, hold on. Let's go over
what
here.
What about?
Let's start with Yessie. Yessie's eligible to play again, so it must have just been a false positive test that he got, right?
Oh, really? He can play again?
I think he got cleared to play. I saw on TSN today. Yeah. So,
wow.
They placed Neil. Neil was on waivers this morning, and Puljujärvi is eligible to return now. But I mean, I'm assuming Neil. They just want to put him on the taxi squad, right?
I'm not sure.
It's got to be what it is.
You don't think anybody's going to pick up James Neal
at that number? No fucking way. I will eat my hat if that happens. That would be shocking. No, it's a paper transaction to move him on the taxi squad, I'm sure. But I wonder who they're bringing in.
Yeah, I don't know. The taxi squad is really confusing to me. I still cannot get past the fact that it's called taxi squad. That's still way too dramatic.
Well, beyond that, it's like the hockey form of like people who like think they can do polyamory, but like aren't really like emotionally or intellectually capable of it, So they're like, this is gonna be great, and they're like, I'm so happy to see, them having so much fun. They have that new relationship energy on that line. The guy that just came off the taxi squad, and I'm not jealous. And then like slowly, just like pure fucking unhinged insanity seeps in, and
you bring up a good point.
Ends up out a window,
You bring up a good point. Do you think the taxi squad, there's a bit of that, like players, there's a bit of that sort of feeling right now, like they kind of resent what the taxi squad is doing to the team? Do you think that's a thing? Like it's being used.
It's a really weird. It's a very, very weird institution to have right now. Like it's unlike anything. I mean, it's completely different than people playing in the minors.
Well, this is like, I remember at one of our shows before the season, we were talking about how teams are obviously going to start using the taxi squad as like a tactic, right? And guys are going to get moved around. And I mean, that's actually happening right now. Like that's what's going on. Like the taxi squad is being like weaponized, but I wonder if that's sowing seeds of, sowing seeds of sour grapes, let's say.
Yeah,
like on the team.
Envy. I mean, it's possible. The thing is, it also kind of puts the coaching staff in a weird position of like, rotating guys in. That being said, I really do like some of the lines we've seen the last few games. Like, I really want to talk about the Jujhar, Archibald, Ennis line. Like, is it me or was like that goal that Jujhar scored? Like the play along the boards from Ennis was sick, totally sick.
Yeah.
The fucking play into the zone and then the pass through the legs of Petrie from Archibald was sick. And then obviously the nice finish from Jujhar. And it's like, I found myself wondering today. I was like, walking through my living room, I just finished some errands, I finally had a little bit of like mental space. And the thought just like bared down upon me all at once, where I was just like, what if the third line center we've been looking for the whole time is fucking Jujhar Khaira, because that's we need someone to be that. And I know it's a short sample size, and it's a hot start to the season, and he's gone cold before, but that line looks really good, and I don't know. I'm excited for him to potentially keep it going here.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Jujhar last episode, and we also talked about Cassian a lot after the Calgary game. And I think one of the most interesting storylines on the team right now is Zach Cassian seemingly, I don't know, it sort of feels like he's fading away, you know what I mean? And Jujhar ascending right now. I mean, he's looked like a totally different player the last couple games, and I wonder if allowing him to sort of find his niche on the team first through his work on the penalty kill is sort of what he needed to round out the game he needs to play to have a regular spot on the team. Like he's brought what made him a great special teams player to his 5-on-5 game. And he's looked like a totally different player because of that, I think.
Yeah, like a lot of people are saying he just looks a lot more confident with the puck, really like just wants to have it, eager to make plays. I mean, yeah, it's an exciting time for him right now and for a lot of Oilers fans, because like when you have a player with that skill set and that kind of profile, and he's been with you a long time, and he's been in the system a long time, and he's had a lot of different opportunities and different roles and kind of been on that bubble a long time.
He's gotten so many chances.
Yeah. To like see this right now feels like if it is the culmination of like a long, but somewhat erratic player development curve, but like we hung like all this time where we hung on to him, it's potentially just like a huge like windfall kind of just in terms of like player assets. So fingers crossed, knock on wood, he's going to keep it up.
Windfall, and I'm really curious to know like how Jujhar was coached. Like I wonder what his route, because if a player's given that many chances, that means that like the coaching staff still like somebody's in his corner, right? Somebody on the coaching staff is like, no, like we got to keep this guy around. We can't lose Jujhar. Like if his name comes up, they're like, we got to hold on to that guy. Like there's a reason he's still with the team, and he's been given so many chances. And I'm curious as to what that road has been like. Like we can only speculate, but I'm sure it's like an incredible story from just his entire time on this team up to this point, where it feels as though he's an Archibald. Like Archibald's great. We're so lucky we have that guy. He's kind of like Yamo light. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting. Yamo light. Yeah, I've had that flavor. That's delicious. That's the one with like the elderberry. Yeah.
I actually like Yamo light better.
I think I like it too.
I think it tastes better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's not as filling. It's not as filling as Yamo Classic.
Yeah. But you don't really. Yeah, exactly. You don't really want a super filling soda. I also wanted to ask you. So I was saying on a recent episode as well that I really thought Ennis was starting to gel. I'm really excited to see that continue on. But I was thinking about it more, and I figured, a big part of it is I feel like Connor and him have just started to gel, actually, just the two of them. Like Connor knows to pass to him. He sees him. He's looking for him. He knows that, if he can get the puck to him, that there's going to be a good shot. There's going to be a good offensive kind of like chance.
For who? Who are you talking about?
Like Connor, did I say Ennis? I meant,
yeah.
I always get them mixed up. What's with it? Tyson Barrie. I think Connor is just so kind of like in tune with Barrie now, and they're both such offensively talented players that like I really see things just going to like the stratosphere between the two of them. Because if you think about it, like Connor hasn't really had a defenseman of Barrie's ilk to and it probably took him a little while to like realize and like get the timing right and all that, get used to playing with him. But now that he has, it's just some of the passing between them it makes me giddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it took a while, right? Like it took this many games to get it down, maybe. And in the long run, like it's not too many. You know what I mean? Like we'll look back on it and be like, yeah, they were always great. Like, it's just like a blink of an eye. Like, if they can keep performing like they have been for the rest of the season, like, we'll be in great shape. We'll be like we were last year. Like, the power play will be there.
And then, of course, I'd be remiss to not bring up the fact that Mr. Mike Smith has, secured his first shutout of the year. He looked really big in the net. I think he looks super confident. He's got that battle, like that Mike Smith battle kind of like vibe that, you see when he's really on his game.
You see it all the time, man. You see it just as much when he's not on his game. Like, you can tell it's tearing him apart inside. He's like, like a wounded animal in the net. When Mike Smith isn't playing, when it's not going his way, he's still got the battle. But anyway, yeah, you were saying Mike Smith, yes.
So I was wondering, like, here's my theory. So maybe, because we still don't know what the injury was, I'm suspecting that it was like some layover effects from possibly being like maybe like imprisoned in evil wizards like keep, like a la Gandalf and Saruman. Like, it's possible that he was studying, the new magics, new save magics in the summer to prepare, after being disappointed with the play-in round. And, he was like, oh man, like I've got this like hot shit now, but then, some shit went down, maybe, I don't know. I just think there's something that went on with him and the other wizards in the guild, or even like non-guild wizards. Like, anything's possible, because he really seems to be bringing something new right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's bringing anything new. You know what I mean? Like, this is Mike Smith. This is like, I never understood. Like, I've been on Mike Smith's, like, Mike Smith is like my guy. Like, I've never understood the people that just were like, I've had enough with them. I can't stand Mike Smith anymore.
Tear me away from Mike Smith.
That's true. But you know what I mean? Like, it seems so unnecessary. The way people just like were fed up with Mike Smith. Like, how can you?
Well, I think it actually was a bit of a learned behavior. Like, if you have a kid, right, and then the kid sees you, like, let's say you get a dog or like Mike Smith, and then you treat that dog or Mike Smith like badly, your kid's going to go and treat that kid or Mike Smith badly. They're going to have learned your behavior. They're mimicking it. And we had all these Calgary fans that were just like, oh, fuck Mike Smith on the way out,
which was insane, because he was the only player that showed up for the only playoffs I've seen that were as bad as Edmonton playing the Hawks. That wasn't even the playoffs, but was the year before when Calgary played the Avalanche, or maybe that was 2 years ago, and they were just completely absent. It was like my memories of that game. I remember the game when I was watching it as though the ice literally was tilted. Like, when I think back to that game, my memory is of me looking at the TV and thinking to myself, like, what's wrong? Like, why is the arena broke? Like, that's what it was like watching that game. And Mike Smith was the only player that showed up. And then when he left, everyone was like, exactly. And Calgary too. Like, what is it with? I don't understand. Like, Mike Smith always gets like the bad end of the stick. I don't understand.
It's the law. It's the way of the goaltending road. You like give your heart and soul to the city. You give your everything. You're literally like putting your body and your face in front of like not only vulcanized rubber pucks traveling at hundreds of miles an hour, but a whole bunch of like Vicodined up like sociopaths who just like are looking to like hack you in the back of your ankle or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, in terms of team sports, is it even close in terms of like the toughest, in terms of like the toughness required? I mean, football, I guess it's football or hockey or maybe rugby. I don't know, man. Like, I think playing, for me, and I think for most people, playing hockey in like an NHL, for like an NHL team would kind of be terrifying.
Well, you have to visualize for a moment. Like, sometimes when I watch a game, I try to picture what it would be like to be on the ice. And like, immediately the first thing that terrifies me is how like fast it is. And everyone's just like ripping around. Basically, it's faster than anything you've ever seen on skates move before. And they have like sticks and stuff. And they're kind of just like,
yeah. And if you get to a certain point, they use those sticks to like,
I'd say
as like
right
weapons
away.
To like hack into you and cross check you and
I'd
beat
say
you.
right away. Like, if you and I were playing street hockey, and you like hit me with your stick, I'd be like, well, I'd probably never talk to you again. I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, why did you do that? Like, you piece of shit. But in hockey, that's like the first thing you do. It means nothing. Like, if you're going to get the puck, like, you're also going to like take some shots at the guy with your hockey stick, like this weapon you're allowed to use. Like, you just have to like be careful you don't get caught. Like, that's the only thing stopping you. Like, you're allowed, and if you do get caught, like you can still do it. You just can't play for 2 minutes. Like, still allowed. It's crazy. It'd be a terrifying game to play. So I think, it might be the toughest. Might be the toughest.
I mean, in football, it's not like they're carrying around wooden sticks.
No,
I think
and
it's the
so
sticks
like,
as well, and the skates, the sharp skates.
Totally. That's what I'm saying. The ice, the whole thing. It's just like crazy.
No out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. So
Jesse Puljujarvi situation. Oh, he can play again. We covered that. He's allowed to play again.
Yeah, he's allowed to play again. I mean, I think I stand by my previous statements vis-a-vis like competency on that line. It's kind of funny because like it's I think it's actually nice that we have Neil, and I'm sure he's just going to the taxi squad because he's another person. Like, basically this is the depth chart of competency on McDavid's wing, right? Like, we got Puljujarvi, Neil is there, then Chiasson and Archibald. They're all like in the mix, and the more people we can add that can play on that side of him competently, the better. It would definitely be nice to have someone that could really go nuclear, but I don't know if we have that player this year by the looks of it. Maybe Kenny can get him someone in free agency. I mean, I think I don't know. Nuge hasn't scored in 3 games, doesn't have a point in 3 games. He's kind of a notorious slow starter, though.
Where are you at? That's a better question. Where are you at with the Nuge right now?
I'm not worried about him at all. He has like little cold streaks, and honestly, he's a player that definitely plays better and better every year near the end of the year. So he's got like, it's not as though he has like no points or anything. He's got like 8 or 9 points now.
Yeah.
No, he's got 11 points in 16 games. So really only just a little bit below what you'd really like to see.
That's
so I'm not concerned. I mean, I think it's a little more concerning that Yamamoto doesn't have a point in 4 games, but
Yamo for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little curious to see how things are going to end up with that line. Like Cahoon, I go hot and cold on him. Like I do think he's a dangerous player, and you can really tell, like, he's given it his all, and he's a player that's dangerous all the time. So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether I want to see that line keep going. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good assessment. That line, it's mainly Nuge and Yamo are the 2 things. I mean, Cahoon, I think him and Draisaitl have a little more chemistry than maybe Draisaitl and Yamo do right now. So Yamo to me seems like not really clicking offensively. The rest of his game is so strong though. Like, he clears up. When that line scores, it's always like something Yamo has done has sort of played a role in that line scoring.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though he's not on the board. But I don't know. I'd sure like to see him score a couple goals. He got that really nice one, and then he's missed a couple. And I don't know. He just seems a little bit off to me.
Yeah. Yeah, a little, but only a little bit. Like, he's still battling really hard and just like such a hound on the puck. Like,
man,
you just love to see it, man. Like, he's such a diminutive player, as people like to say, but he's on that fucking puck like a mad animal. It's great.
That play in the last game on the Montreal power play when he like dove out to get it out of the zone, he splayed out on the ice, the full extent of his body, oof, and like knocked it out with his stick. Like, that's crazy. That's great stuff. I just like to see him. I'd like to see that line sort of, be a little bit better, I suppose. And Nuge, to me, like, I have such a hard time figuring that guy out. Like, I don't know. I probably think about Nuge more than I do any other player on the team, just because I can't figure him out. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it's just because he has, like, we've all heard of resting bitch face, right? Like, yes. And like I'm not saying he has that. I'm saying he has resting enigma face, resting enigmatic face. You look at his face, and he just looks like a guy that's like interesting. Oh, what's going on behind those eyes? But deep down, I'm sure if you just met him, he's just the most normal human being of like all time, you know.
But
he's just his face looks enigmatic.
Right.
He's a handsome man. I think am I in love? I'm not sure. I've never felt this way before.
But don't you think his game sort of like mirrors that? Like his game is just as enigmatic to me. Like I can't really figure out his game. Like I can watch a game and I'll be like, I don't know.
I think part of that is that he's a winger now, and we're so used to him as a center. I think you wouldn't feel that way if he was still playing center.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've like always felt that way. The Nuge is just a giant mystery to me.
Well, but a beautiful and wonderful mystery that we want to keep forever, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I guess another part of that is the whole
ahead.
the whole keep Nuge forever thing. Like I'd like to keep Nuge, but it's weird that there's like a campaign. Like it's weird how beloved the Nuge is.
Well, no, it's because Hall and Eberle are gone, and he was the last jewel in that crown. So part of it, it's like you know, if the state had to take away like 2 of your 3 kids, you know, but after that happened, you know, you kind of got your shit together a little bit, and you're like, I'm really gonna hold on to this one. You'd understand, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is that a really horrifying metaphor? It might be.
No, it's not. It's like I mean, you make a good point. Like maybe that's what it is. He's the last.
Yeah, because I think if we trade Nuge, then there's this feeling of like, oh, we just ended up with nothing from all this like trio of like top young players that were supposedly, you know, that we worshipped them like demigods for a while there, the 3 of them, you know.
I don't think
he's like the one remaining demigod.
I don't think Jordan Eberle was ever worshipped as a demigod.
Maybe not. He was kind of like the guy, like if there was a big mural or like a big like statue of them all, you know, he would be like one of the attendants, one of like the familiars, like one of the dudes on the side, you know, lieutenant, whatever.
Right. Yeah, I suppose.
What else is on your mind here though, as we look forward to the big game, the big fixture against Winnipeg coming here?
That's about it.
Yeah.
Do we know, is Mikko back yet as well? So Koskinen's been cleared to play then as well, I'm assuming.
I don't think he was ever actually. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. No, is he in COVID protocol?
The backup we had for that game was called Dylan Wells.
Oh, right.
What a name, huh?
I don't know about Mikko. Yeah, Dylan Wells is a good name. No, I'm not sure. Yeah.
So who gets, after all this rest, like who do you think starts the Winnipeg game?
Oh, it's got to be Smith. I mean, I feel like Tippett's really going to ride the hot hand more this year. Like I've been thinking about it, and in this shortened season, I'm sure he's going to do whatever he can to like manage like fatigue and stuff. But I have a feeling we're going to see a coach running the hot hand a lot more this year. So I'm going to go with Mike Smith, and I pray to Jehoshaphat that Tippett agrees.
Yeah, I think it should be too. It's got to be. You got a shutout. He's really gotten 2 shutouts.
Right, exactly. All right, cool, brother. Well, why don't we leave it there? I'll check in with you post haste. We'll discuss all of the key metrics and our key performance indicators. Okay, dude. I'll talk to you soon, and hopefully we can keep this rolling here. We've had a nice little tasty kind of streak, you know. We haven't even mentioned it, but we are having some nice tasty streak for dinner these days.
Yes, once again we're eating steak.
Amazing.
2 steaks in a little over a week
with peppercorn sauce.